must be able to provide. First, you got to be able to provide for yourself. If you can't even take care of yourself, how in the world are you going to take care of a family? How in the world can you take care of somebody else? But when you are a man who can provide for yourself and other people abundantly, then you create an environment of abundance in which she can feel secure. Now, this is especially for you guys that are like in your 40s, 50s, 60s. You're back in the game of dating after a failed relationship, maybe a failed marriage, maybe you've gone through a divorce, and you're back in the dating game and you're looking for women. Women, in their 40s and 50s and 60s, and this is not a stereotype, this is not 100%, but this is just in general the way it is. Her number one need is security. A woman needs to feel secure. Can you take care of me? Can you take care of me? Can you take care of yourself? Okay? She wants that. Your ability to provide abundantly is critical to having a great relationship and being the man that she can respect. You want to be respected? You better be able to take care of business, make money, bring home the bacon, and take care of your family. You can take care of your finances, you can take care of debt, you can take care of necessities, you can take care of even some luxuries. Now, I want to put this in a biblical perspective as well. I talked about in a previous podcast, I talked about scripture in 1 Timothy chapter 5, verse 8 that says that speaking to men says, anyone who does not provide for his family, especially those of his own household, has denied the faith and is worse than an unbeliever. Now that's a powerful principle. And I got taken to task a little bit on that by a comment on the podcast on my YouTube channel. And one of the guys responded, and this was his criticism. He says, I will say in reference to 1 Timothy 5:8, then talking about providing, it's a very subjective what my view, he says, is a very subjective understanding of providing. And women in the West, i.e. America and so forth, women in the West, I think, have become spoiled and have a very high bar of what provision is. I think it's probably always been this way, but a man is penalized if he can't provide a high income, lavish upper middle class lifestyle that she wants. I would argue this applies to a man who's not working and applying himself, meaning that the verse says if you're a man who's not working and you're not applying yourself, then you're not providing. But if a family doesn't even have four walls to live within, food on the table and clothes on their back, then I would say that this verse absolutely applies, that you need to provide. But let's not get it mixed up. Providing does not necessarily mean multiple vacations a year and private school. Like, okay, I don't know exactly what this man's experience is, but I get it. I hear you. But here's what I'm going to tell you. Number one, yes, you have a God-given responsibility as a man to provide for your family and take care of your household. I think that means you need to make enough money, and your income should provide all the needs for your family, that you do not depend on your wife's income or on a woman's income just to make ends meet and be able to pay the bills and support your lifestyle. Okay? Now, it doesn't mean a woman can't work. I'm all for a woman if she wants to have a career and she wants to make money, and that's great, but you should not depend on her and need her money to pay the bills. Now, again, you can go back and listen on a previous podcast where I talk about this, that there is this idea that, in America to get by now because cost of living and everything's so expensive that it takes two incomes and both men, the husband and the wife, have to work. Brothers, men, we live in the greatest land of opportunity and you can make more money. Problem is we bought into the box that says go to school, get a good education, get a job, and that's pretty much the limit of what you can do. And you're locked into your job. And once you get a secure job, you're like, well, I can't go in and just double my income. I need to make more money. And with inflation and all this, what am I supposed to do? She's got to work. Well, what I'm going to say is you need to start getting a little more responsible, a little more creative, and start looking at ways to own your own business, ways to become entrepreneurial, ways to increase your income. And yes, my friend, there is a way that every single person can do it. When you look out there and you see men who are making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year or millions a year, and they are providing for themselves and their family at a high level, you can do that too. Now, does that mean you may have to learn a new skill? Yeah. Does it mean you may have to work extra hard? Oh, I'm just going to get worn out. My brother, it is your duty to provide. It is your duty to take responsibility for providing for your family. Now, going back to this guy's comment, he says, that doesn't mean necessarily multiple vacations a year and private school. Well, okay, Granted, and I will agree, cultural standards have definitely changed since the New Testament was written a couple of thousand years ago, right? I mean, it's definitely changed. Expectations have certainly changed, but the principle is still there. But here's even more, what's more critical. There are, if you want to date and attract a great woman and she has expensive taste, or she likes nice stuff and she likes to travel and she wants a nice car and she wants a nice house and she wants a swimming pool and she wants to be able to send the kids to private school, then my brother, it's your responsibility to provide that, or she's not the one for you. Does that make sense? If you want to attract and win and keep a woman who likes nice things, then you got to be able to provide those nice things, or she's not going to be happy. It's her expectation. And it is very, very difficult to get her to lower her expectations because you can't provide it, because you can't make enough money to provide it. And so what I'm challenging you to do is have a mindset of, I can do whatever I need to do to have the lifestyle I want. And brother, raise the bar. I was raised on a farm in a mobile home. I grew up in a mobile home. We didn't have a lot of money. My parents were both school teachers, and we weren't broke and we weren't poor, but yeah, we had, if we went on vacation, it was always road trips. And my dad did have we had a little camper that we'd go on trips in and all that, but we never flew anywhere. We never flew. The first time I was on a commercial airline, where I actually flew to go on a trip, I was in college. That was the first time. Now today I've flown I won't say all over the world, but I've flown to multiple countries, many places. I like to fly first class. Why? It's just nicer. Now people are like, well, that's a ripoff. I agree. Flying first class is totally a ripoff, but I like flying first class. I like room service. So what do? I'm like, I want to make more money so I can afford the ripoffs of the world. And because we live in America, you can generate enough money and you can find ways and learn how to make more money without sacrificing your life and without working 90 hours a week. Now, there may be periods where you have to work 90 hours a week. I've had those periods in my life. But the key is, are you committed to being a provider? If you can provide abundantly for yourself first, and then for your queen, and then for your family, my friend, the more abundantly you can provide, the more respect you are going to garner in the world. Now, I know this is a double-edged sword, and people go like, well, I don't want to be materialistic or worldly and all this. And I hear you, I get you, I get it. But a man who can provide is going to be looked up to and respected more. Now, what if he's just all he cares about is money and he's greedy and all that kind of, no, it's not, he may not be respected. Certainly not by somebody that cares about other things like spiritual depth and having a purpose in your life and doing good in the world. But you can do good in the world, add value to people's life, and make money doing it. Okay, so if you're going to sit here and argue with me about trying to justify being broke and justify living in scarcity and lack and worried about filling up your car with gas, all you're doing is defending scarcity. Stop defending scarcity. God created this world in abundance, and He is a God of abundance, and He wants you to have abundance. Jesus said in John 10, I came that you might have life and have it abundantly. He wants abundance for us. If you want to command respect, you must be a great protector. Can you protect? Can you protect yourself? Can you stand up for yourself? Can you protect your queen? Can you protect your family? Are you a man who can provide and protect? Two huge cornerstone principles of being able to be a man worthy of respect in a relationship. Can you protect? This is again, a foundational question that every woman has about a man. If I fall, will he catch me? If I fall, will he catch me? Can he protect me? Can he protect me from harm? Can he protect me from hurt? Can he protect me from heartbreak? Can he protect me from disappointment? Can he protect me, again, financially through provision? Will he stand up for me in the world? Will you stand up for her to your parents, to the in-laws? Will you stand up? Will you protect her? You must be a man who is dangerous. Okay, we live in a time where we've been taught to be soft. Been taught to be nice guys. If you're strong and powerful, they call it toxic masculinity, which is bullshit. You must be a man who can stand up in the world and protect your family. Whatever goes down, whatever comes around, you've got to be able to stand up and protect your family, which means you must be dangerous. You must be able to take care of things. You must have the courage and willingness to stand up in the world for yourself and for your family. Can you do that? Are you willing to do this? In fact, I want to share with you, there's a book about the ancient Spartans, and the Battle of Thermopylae. It's called The Gates of Fire by a guy named Stephen Pressfield. And I read this years ago, and it super inspired me because I was just raised happy wife, happy life, being the nice guy and trying to make everybody happy. And I never really understood what it meant to be a powerful man and a powerful leader that really knew how to make his wife feel absolutely safe and protected, that no matter what happened, I got this. I'm the one who takes care of shit. Whatever hits the fan, I will take care of it. And this is basically we'll call it a pep talk that King Leonidas, the Spartan king, gave to his men before they marched from Sparta to Thermopylae to stand up against the Persian invaders. And he's standing there talking to them, and they're nervous and they know where they're going is a tough battle ahead. And this is what he says. He says, in 600 years, no Spartan woman has beheld the smoke of the enemy's fires. Now, I just want you to think about this. This was in ancient Greece. In ancient Greece, all the city-states, the Greek city-states, all had walled fortifications around the city. They were walled cities, except for Sparta. Sparta was the only ancient Greek city-state that did not have a wall around the city. It was not a walled city. And the reason, they said, the Spartan warriors said, our men are the wall. I just want you to soak in the kind of courage. And this is why the Spartan warriors were revered and feared as the most powerful fighting men, and they were trained to fight and protect and to defend. And they had built an empire of the Spartan Empire that was, for over 600 years, they had known peace. And their poets said, for 600 years, our women have not beheld the smoke of the enemy's fires. It didn't say for 600 years, nobody's conquered or invaded Sparta. It's like, no, the enemy hadn't even got close enough that our women can see their smoke miles away. We do not let the enemy even get close to our women, get close to our city. We go and we take the battle to them. They fear us. They will not come here. And so understand that Sparta is in southern Greece. Thermopylae is in northern Greece. King Leonidas knew the only way we're going to stop the Persians, we're not going to wait for them to come here. We're going to take the battle to them, outnumbered and everything. And he led the Spartans, the 300 Spartans, and other Greek warriors into battle against the Persian. This was his perspective. I am going to protect Sparta. And the value was, we're going to be so powerful at protecting that our women, our children, will not even see the smoke of the enemy's fires. In other words, the enemy's never even going to get close to us. There's nothing that's going to stress. You want to see a marriage retention in it? Get your wife stressed, right? When your wife is stressed out, whether it's over money or it's over, issues or whatever, when your wife is stressed, it is not a fun place to be, right? What if you could build a life that you protect your wife from the things that stress her out? This is your responsibility, my friend. I know this is not cultural. This is kind of countercultural. This certainly is not probably politically correct or in line with pop culture, but I'm not really interested in pop culture. When I look around at the relationships that we have and the divorce rate and just the number of unhappy women and unhappy men in marriages that are stuck in marriages, some of them divorced, some of them stay, but they're miserable. Where there is no passion, there is no respect, there's not really a deep, passionate connection in that relationship. What if you protected your wife from stress? She doesn't have to work. Why? Because you protect her from that. She doesn't have to go and submit to a boss, another man. I would never want my queen to go into a job where she has to submit to another man. I want to protect her from that. I don't want her to be stressed out about that. So what if you did that? And here's what he says. He says, for 600 years, no Spartan woman has beheld the smoke of the enemy's fires. Now, Persian enemy's coming. And this is what he says. By Zeus and Eros, by Athena protectress and Artemis upright, by the Muses and all the gods and heroes who defend Sparta, and by the blood of my own flesh, I swear that our wives and daughters, our sisters and mothers will not behold those fires now. The enemy's not coming close to us. The enemy's not going to come close to our city. Our women are not going to have to be afraid. My friend, are you willing and able to stand up for your family and protect them that way? How do you do that? Well, one is have money. There's so many things that happen. The things that bring tension and stress into our lives are when we are living in scarcity. So this goes back to number 5, and that is the idea of being a provider, is can you provide and can you protect? So it takes money and it takes courage. It takes a man who is principled, we've already talked about, who is willing to stand up for his family. Are you able to do that? If you're not, if you're living in scarcity and lack right now, my friend, you ain't ready to start dating. If you enjoyed this video and want to watch another one, you can click right here. If you want to see the entire podcast, click right here.